very good early ganks.
Yeah, another thing to point out about the draft phase as we get in. For 1907 Fenerbahçe, everyone except Crash actually has their most played champion from Worlds playing. So as much as RNG gets to scout them, they did scout them, say we've seen the best you've got, and they don't care if they give it to them because RNG thinks they can beat them.
Another thing also to highlight with the level 1 items is Relic Shield on Padden. Now we have seen this, you know, in the last few months from different AD carries. Often when I see Ardent Sensor supports versus each other, both AD carries actually go for Relic Shield because you do not want to fall behind in the race for completing Ardent Sensor. This one will go in favor of Fenerbahçe with that Relic Shield.
It's an arms race of who can get there, specifically when the bottom lanes are going barrier heal. And I really want to see how Uzi plays in this metagame because he's a guy who will push you into the turret and threaten kills so often, but they haven't taken a bottom lane that can do that, and then they haven't built the items to reach that arms race. So they're, in a sense, going to have to use that health advantage from the Dorn Shield to try and get that going. But Fenerbahçe going for an invade, trying to shake things up.
They feel they need to make something happen early if they can get the upper hand here. Glitter lands through the entire team. Mlxg flashing forward. Already took damage from before. One more shot. First blood gonna come in. It goes to Crash on his jungle Nidalee.
What a smart invade here. No vision from RNG being placed, and they get surprised by how many members show up. Lulu gotta be careful.
Gotta be careful. This extends into the laning phase.
It's the classic Letme game. It's I'm sitting top lane and farming, and you guys are playing on the other side. Yeah, just let me farm. Mlxg is around mid. There's cleanse for Frozen, and he's very close to his tower, but obviously just getting a summon spell is a small win that could later on give a big advantage.
Yeah, all RNG need to do actually is get the summoner spell out if they then want to go for kill, but he's got to be a little careful. Doesn't have magic resist yet.
Oh, he actually gets pulled into the fight. Flashes on both sides to get himself to safety. Sorry, just the heal from Xiaohu.
Yeah, and be a stronger 2v2 lane just based on of the players, and they are able to go completely even in farm here. Uzi's not getting shut down at all.
Right.
Yeah, have to note that at the level 1 engagement, Ming did burn heal, so it did have RNG play a little bit more defensive. But as far as expectations, pre-game to what's happening now, this bottom lane is performing way above the expectations. Looking at the CSDs in the group stage as they go for another game.
Frozen makes his way down. Remember, Cleanse is still there if he wants to bait it in for Crash. Has to try and get it below the minions. They could still get the kill. Crash comes up with another one. Xiaohu standing tall to see if he can get the bounce for the kill, but it's not going to be enough damage. He's just doing what he can. However, Japone now coming into mid lane as Ming enters the fight as well.
That's another one.
Spear is hitting left and right, but I don't know if he's got enough for the dive. They back off of this.
Yeah, Crash will land all the spears on the non-stun targets, but it just goes to show how far ahead on the play 1907 Fenerbahçe was. They can miss that spear and...
Okay, what item of the Ardent Sensor comes first? Actually, focused quite quickly after for Ming was that idol, but he did get the Aether Wisp first. A little bit of movement speed. But he gets that shield power back in. Ming coming through. Remember, there's a flash and the cleanse now for Frozen, but he is going down fast. They finally answer back in the mid lane. Mlxg and Xiaohu come up.
I mean, there's some serious damage from Mlxg now on this Rek'Sai. We are still early on in the game. People will not have armor just yet to defend against him. So he finally gets that kill in the mid lane against Frozen. Third time he tried.
Yeah, from the looks of it, RNG really want to get Xiaohu going, and now that they have Cleanse down, they're going to continue to try and play through this mid lane. Crash trying to defend the turret. There's the flash.
A little too close for comfort. Mlxg over the wall, and it's Xiaohu going to be storm surging through with the damage. A kill onto Crash. He has 2 kills, but now goes down. Fight onto Uzi. Beautiful shield and heal from Ming.
And Mlxg's on the way to the bottom lane. He can tunnel over the wall here.
He's going to have a long way to fight, though.
All summoners up.
Just saying hello.
Man, could not follow through on that one, but Uzi very healthy after all of that fighting has occurred because the
bait Fenerbahçe to hit the tower and then try and go for a play.
Yeah, 3's a crowd for sure on that bot lane play. Crash is going to actually find Xiaohu, so bot lane should know the rotation of mid means there is something bad coming down to the bot lane. 1907 Fenerbahçe may not be able to make it out in time. A flash from Japone. He says Wild goes forward to help the team disengage, and he does just that. Beautiful in by Thaldrin. He is in the middle of the fight, but is it too far forward as Letme's trying to get a bite out of Crime? Gets it with the Vorpal spikes to finish the kill. And now they're going to try to pick up a few more. Finally getting something out of that. RNG could open up the game.
Yeah, essentially trying to counter gank whatever Fenerbahçe was doing bottom lane, but then when they see Crash in the mid lane, they think, why don't we just pull off the gank? They slowly teleport in, not much reliability with that initial engage, but they still generate the kill onto the Maokai, and they get the first turn.
And it was the second time they placed that ward in that rush here, basically saying, we know you're going to push this time.
All Chinese roster, very comfortable in the late game as well throughout the LPL split.
Yeah, we saw also in play-ins from 1907 Fenerbahçe that it wasn't due to the beautiful late game rotations they were winning games. Like, it was down to big late game team fights and these like really big carry performances. Baron Steals was definitely in there as well. They're gonna try and find a support here.
Oh, nice flash there. Japone getting himself to safety. And it looks like the Wild Growth will also keep him a bit healthy, long enough to stay and give a few more whimsies and shields to the team. They're going to try to protect mid, but this becomes much scarier, knowing that ult is down, knowing his summoners are down.
Exactly, here's Letme as well with the right exploring.
Just had to scare him off the turret, that's all that was necessary, and they have 1907 Fenerbahçe.
And you realm back to the Baron.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Riv, how they have the Realm Warp that has not been utilized, and you can pull off a bunch of stuff, moving from top turret to Baron to really change the state of the game. They're going to use it to try and kill Frozen.
Flash and flash, there is the Realm Warp, they use it. Frozen goes down, and Uzi gets on the board with a kill. Oh, Japone gonna get chomped down here. Wild Growth is there. Looks like he's gonna use it to stuff himself up. Oh, the shot coming in. Uzi's gonna get himself another one very fast, and this is that second tier.
Yeah.
They need to start pushing.
And Padden has opted to try and race mid lane. He might be able to trade a turret, but losing control of this side of the map endangers Baron even more because this is exactly the range. From about where Xiaohu is now to Baron Pit is the max Realm Warp range, so they have so much more ground to play with when they try and force Baron. But this trade actually isn't ending. They're gonna lose the inhibitor.
Yeah, because Padden is still pushing right now. They know exactly where they're going for more.
They can take out Thaldrin. This is going to be very bad. The tankiest one of the team is actually going down very fast. His RNG are putting some finishing touches on the top side inhibitor. Looks like they'll exit after this as no other lanes are pushed. But what a play.
1907 Fenerbahçe push out the lanes.
Yep. It's almost a fake out where 1907 Bache is saying we have to get the lanes pushing so they can't go to the objectives, but when RNG could just take the objectives, they're going for the kills instead and going for turrets.
And you call for those Ryze ultis. We just saw two of them, one top lane, now one bot lane, bring in more members. They're getting more.
That's big. Letme just tanking Crash low. Wild Growth is on. That means Padden doesn't have the save, but he's still trying to step forward. Always seeing Padden trying to make the move, but they may be too far behind now. The second tier going down, finds himself back to the back line, but still, they can't find the damage necessary to slow down RNG.
Yeah, clutch rocket jump there.
Bot lane tower, in it, top is still dead.
Kind of looked at what 1907 Fenerbahçe would have problems with, and it was that snap judgment macro. As soon as it happened, if things weren't going even throughout the game, if they weren't the one to be on the top side of that judgment, that snap judgment, then they would fall behind and have trouble
getting back
the escape. Beautifully done by Xiaohu. Throwing the okie doke over to 1907 Fenerbahçe, gets himself out, and they're going to head down, up towards the mid lane, rather. 35 minutes coming up on the clock, very close to that average time here for Royal Never Give Up as they try to put the damage down onto Thaldrin, but he is just healing back and forth as well from Crash to get those heals in, but it looks like they will stay for the inhibitor.
And right back to full HP with the redemption coming in. They will take this one down as well. RNG are looking very strong at the moment. Uzi is so strong here in the late game, and same for Xiaohu, honestly, so both carries able to win teamfights for their team.
Yeah, knowing the exact inhib timing as well, RNG move over there to pick it up. 2 inhibs cycled, can still go for the third because they have plenty of Baron left, about a minute of it. So as you said, Deficio just completely taking this game for themselves in the last 8 minutes or so after what was a very slow start.
Inhibitors falling slowly, but I don't know if Frozen's going to try to get in. He went very low there. A rupture into Uzi damage would mean Frozen's out of the fight immediately. And it looks like they have to back off and get the heal in for Frozen before that minion wave gets there.
And we just saw Padden get a few hits on Letme right there. It barely did anything to the Cho'Gath, and this is the kind of problem for Fenerbahçe. They gotta kill Letme fast so they can actually get further on and get to the back line of RNG, but this Cho'Gath will just not die.
I mean, Thaldrin will, he's way ahead of the team. Oh, they're on Uzi!
They're on Uzi. Uzi gets that cleanse. That's the unleashed power. He stays alive. The shields come through.
Gotta heal.
Stays alive from the bomb as well. RNG, however, have to pull back. Padden has the damage. Padden could have a whimsy to speed up. He's only got Letme to hit, though. Mlxg could be able to stop them to use that Guardian Angel, but it is getting touched to it. That bomb's going off. And they are on the same page all across the board right now. Terrifying to see that come through. Crash could be the first one going down here, as that is what RNG is doing right into the front side of the base for 1907 Fenerbahçe. 8-2 here, 37.5 minutes in with a 10,000 gold lead. It's just 5 members of 1907 Fenerbahçe that stand between RNG and the Nexus now.
Mortal Reminder is now ready for Padden here. He will get the heal from Crash as well to further buff his attack speed. There will be the Lulu on the center, but he needs to have time to actually hit someone. RNG, more than happy just dancing in and out of these team
for the
fights.
minions.
Yeah, with 3 inhibitors down, it's double super minions in every single wave, so they can most likely push through this even without the Baron. They're just going to hit the turrets and force 1907 Bocce to fight him. And if they don't fight him, the Nexus is going to die.
Letme tanking, but not for long. The turrets fall even faster. Crash goes down. A few shots from Uzi. Uzi staying alive. Scatter the Weak goes down right at the end by Frozen. They may have to back up. Nature's grabs come through. A few hugs here for RNG, and they should be able to drop Letme. He may even say, I'm going down for the team. But wait, they stay. Mlxg on the side. Xiaohu on the right, trying to spit in the damage from the machine gun mage, and they are able to tear down 1907 Fenerbahçe, where they stand in their base. A 13-3 score line, and the Nexus for RNG as they start off their 2017 Worlds run with a victory.
38 minutes, 42 seconds. You may say it took them too long, but that's very close to their
Mid laner.
Thank you very much, guys. Indeed joined here by Xiaohu after a fantastic win by RNG in the first game. So first off, I want to ask you, Xiaohu, this is always a very stressful game as it is the first one of the tournament. And the early gaming was quite rough. So what was the key to taking down Fenerbahçe?
今天的话，你们是第一场以开场嘛，然后呢，在前期的时候呢，稍微是有一些小困难来着。你们是怎么最后取得这场胜利的呢？
前面有些困难，可能是因为对面准备的比较好吧，但是这些都是一些小的问题吧。只要后边我们沟通，还有那个，反正就是这类的东西全部做好的话，是完全可以赢的。
So early stages, we did have a little bit difficulties. I think they were really prepared coming into the match, and with us, we actually had better communication later on. And if we did everything properly and right, which is what we did, we won the game like that.
And you guys did it. It's a very tough group you guys are in, but you are personally coming off a fantastic split in the LPL. How do you think you're going to match up versus the other mid laners you haven't played yet, Perks and Crown, in this group?
说这个赛季 LPL 这个赛季的话，对你来讲哈，也是一个打得不错的一个赛季嘛。然后你刚刚打得也非常的出色。然后想问说，你接下来的话跟Perks 以及跟 Crown 的对战的话，你有多大信心？
现在从对线来讲的话，我觉得对线不管打谁都是没问题的，可能更主要的还是要从综合方面来看吧。
He thinks that if it's just laning phase, he won't lose against them too, and he thinks that everyone's like pretty similar. But so it's more of a the entire team and how it works.
All right, well, those matches will be coming up later, but finally I want to ask you, in the opening ceremony, everyone was cheering RNG. There is so much crowd support for you guys. How much does that motivate you to do well this year and possibly make it all the way?
他刚刚你们在打的时候呢，这毕竟是我们的主场，然后玩家一直在给RNG 鼓气打气，所以想说，这对于你们来讲有多大鼓励，能够激励你们走到这次全球总决赛走多远呢？
说实话，在本土作战有很多粉丝给我们加油，对我们的士气提升是很大的。因为每次听到他们因为平时我赛前都会有一些紧张嘛，但是听到粉丝们的呼声的话，就会基本上放松下来。但是今天的话，第一把可能我们都还是有点没有打得特别好吧，后边我觉得会打得更好的。
So with the crowd cheering, I think it's very nice to have the crowd cheering, because every time when I come onto the stage, I'm a little bit nervous, and hearing the fans cheering for us actually calms me down a little bit. I think it is the first game, so we were still a little bit nervous. We didn't play to our best that we can, but we will play better.
All right, well, thank you very much. Congratulations. The first win on the board for RNG. Back over to you guys.